Well, a couple articles from Zero Hedge, if I may. Our protected predatory oligarchy. Dirty Secrets, Dirty Lies, authored by Charles Hugh Smith via Of Two Minds blog. If you want to understand why the status quo is unraveling, start by examining the feudal structure of our society, politics, and economy. The revelations coming to light about Hollywood oligarch Harvey Weinstein perfectly captured the true nature of our status quo. A rotten to the core, predatory, exploitative oligarchy of dirty secrets and dirty lies protected by an army of self-serving sycophants, servile toadies, on the make, and well-paid legal mercenaries. You know what I think of when I first saw this title in the first paragraph? Webbot report. I'm going to turn this AC up one notch because it's a little warm up in this car. Which is funny because I can charge it, which I'm charging it, fully electric car. And just turn it on, turn the AC on, and it will use essentially the power coming into this thing to run the AC while simultaneously trying to charge it. Anyways, all I think about is Webbot report numerous times in the past, recent times, I'm talking Alta reports, secrets revealed about all this kind of stuff from remember the pedophile thing? Do you remember the pedophile meme from the Webbot? It was going to go all the way to the top of all society, from the Catholic Church to the Democrats, Republican, everywhere. It's going everywhere. Do you remember how long ago we started talking about that? Back when you didn't even hear a peep about really any of this stuff aside from the occasional, Catholic priest story. And then we had Pizzagate. That was afterwards. And now we have this stuff. Now Mr. Weinstein. That's all I can think about. Webbot told us way in advance about this kind of stuff. And here it is, once again, in our faces, front and center. Predators aren't an aberration of the establishment. They are the perfection of the establishment, which protects abusive, exploitative predator oligarchs, lest the feudal injustices of life in America be revealed for all to see. The predators reckon their aristocratic status in Hollywood and D.C. grants them a feudal-era Troit de Seigneur, rights of the Lord, to take whatever gratifications they desire from any female, or male or child in some cases, who has the grave misfortune to enter their malefic orbit. Anyone who protests or makes efforts to go public is threatened by the oligarch's thugs and discredited or smeared by the oligarch's take-no-prisoner legal mercenaries. Recall the Clintons' crisis management team tasked with crushing any bimbo eruptions, i.e., any eruptions of the truth about Bill's, well known to insiders, predation of the peasantry women. The dirty secret is that the oh-so-hypocritical power elites of Hollywood and Washington, D.C. circle the wagons to protect one of their own from being unmasked. The first weapons of choice in this defense are, as noted above, threats from the thugs, discrediting the exploited via the oligarchy's paid goons and lackeys in the mainstream media, and dirty lies about what a great and good fellow the oligarch predator is. The last line of defense is a hefty bribe to silence any peasant still standing after the oligarch's onslaught of threats, smears, and lies. Should the worst happen and some sliver of the truth emerge despite the best efforts of the thugs, corporate media, legal mercenaries, and PR handlers, then the playbook follows the script of any well-managed communist dictatorship. The oligarch predator is thrown to the wolves to protect the oligarch systemic predation and exploitation of the peasantry and debt serfs, i.e. you and I and our children. Just as in a one-party communist dictatorship, an occasional sacrificial offering is made to support the propaganda that the predators are outliers rather than the only possible output of a predatory, exploitive, feudal status quo comprised of a small elite of super wealthy and powerful oligarchs at the top and all the powerless debt serfs at the bottom who must do their bidding in bed, in the boardroom, in the corridors of political power, and in the private quarters of their yachts and island hideaways. Media reports suggest that the real reason Mr. Weinstein has been fired is not his alleged conduct over the past 24 years, but his loss of the golden touch in generating movie magic loot for the oh-so-liberal and politically correct Hollywood gang that was pleased to protect Mr. Weinstein when he was busy enriching them. I gotta bring up the WebBot again. Under the same thing I just told you about, but also secrets revealed, more specifically, just that part. Secrets revealed, and Cliff High said, based on his report data, you would see things like people who supported the deep state, that sort of thing. Maybe it was a contractor who had some super secret information, but he was kind of happy being okay. He was okay getting paid and all to keep hush-hush about it. But then the paycheck stops. And when the paycheck stops, now this individual or individuals, and it happens all over the place, are ready to speak. Because he ain't paying us no more, which essentially was hush money anyways. Now we're ready to tell the sheeple about some interesting things, whether it's technology or just some inside information, such as this guy's a pedophile, or this guy's raping women and this and that, like Weinstein, the allegations against him anyways. That's what I think about. So what has happened? He's not making any more money for a lot of these people, so maybe we can come out and expose them, and no problem there, right? Is that what I'm seeing here? Even the best investors can benefit. Oh, wait a minute. This is a... I copied this to a Word file. I mean, a text file, then Word file. Print. I accidentally copied the advertisement on Zero Hedge. Even the best investors can benefit from financial advice. What's truly noteworthy here is not the sordid allegations and history of payoffs. It's the 27 years of intense protection the Hollywood, media, DC status quo provided, despite hundreds of insiders knowing the truth, just as hundreds of insiders with top secret clearance knew about the contents of the Pentagon Papers, and thus knew the Vietnam War was little more than an accumulation of official lies designed to protect the self-serving elites at the top of the power pyramid. Only one analyst had the courage to risk his career and liberty to release the truth to the American public, and that was Daniel Ellsberg. Why are we not surprised that Hollywood, the corporate media, and Washington, D.C. lack even one courageous insider? If you want to understand why the status quo is unraveling, start by examining the feudal structure of our society, politics, and economy, and the endemic corruption, predation, and exploitation of the privileged oligarchs at the top. Then count the armies of self-serving sycophants, toadies, lackeys, hacks, apologists, flunkies, careerists, and legal team mercenaries who toil ceaselessly to protect their oligarch overlords from exposure. Open your eyes, America. There are two systems of justice, as George Salente has said numerous times. One for the wealthy and powerful oligarchs, and an overcrowded gulag of serfs forced to plea bargain in the other. If John Q. Public had done the deeds Mr. Weinstein is alleged to have done, Mr. Public would have been long gone in prison. As Orwell observed about a totalitarian oligarchy, some are more equal than others. If you found value in this content, please join me in seeking solutions by becoming a $1 a month patron of my work via patreon.com. Check out both my new books, Inequality and the Collapse of Privileges, both on Kindle and print, and Why Our Status Quo Failed and Is Beyond Reform, Kindle and print, and audiobook. For more information, please visit the OTM Essentials website, which I'll link this article as I always do. That's just it. As Jared Salente always says it, it's not justice, it's just us. Just us in this system and just them in the other system. And the other system protects all these people and themselves. They can do no wrong. No matter how horrible the deed they've done, they will be protected. But every now and then, we got to throw one to the wolves. And Mr. Weinstein might be that guy. Either that or Mr. Weinstein got out of line and they didn't like it. And this is his payment or payback for doing so. Haven't heard anything like, oh, he did this or said that and exposed anything. Again, maybe they got to sacrifice the guy for once. Who knows? But now you can kind of see why, as I've mentioned numerous times, these cycles of government. Google that, YouTube it, you'll find me talking about it. These ancient philosophers, old philosophers talking about these cycles of government. It ends in anarchy, starts anew, oligarchy, democracy, aristocracy, anarchy, overthrow, get a hero to lead the way. He's the king, everybody's happy because he is really for everybody. Then his kids take over and his kids' kids take over, and by that time they don't know anything about what happened anyways. They weren't even born. They're just loving the power. Time to do some things here, taking some bribes, you name it. Next thing you know, the people are not happy. We put your great-grandfather was in charge. Now you guys are horrible. We can't have you having all the power. We need you to spread the power, create a Senate, and, then it looks good at first, and then they're quickly bribed. Then that turns into democracy, where we got more than just a Senate, You can kind of see why there are these cycles and why democracy has never, ever, ever, ever lasted, as they say on average, more than about 200 years. Typical lifespan of a democracy, about 200 years. And for what I've just described is the primary reason. But because those people are in charge, not just, taking advantage of us citizens in sexual ways, flavors for themselves, they're bleeding us dry, tax this, fee for that, more taxes over here, less pay over there, while they get filthy rich. Again, add that into the mix of why forms of government don't last long, or types of government. I'm out. One more video. Take care.